Well, Steve and Irene, real good to see you folks again.
Jim, it's a real pleasure to be with you and see you.
You've been gone for a few years. You were first in Korea.
Yes, first we went to Korea for 4 years, and then our church asked us to go to Taiwan. We've been there for how long? About 20 years or
19.
19 years
In Korea?
in
Oh,
Taiwan.
Taiwan,
After
yeah, okay.
4 years, we went to Taiwan.
4 years of Korea.
4 years of Korea, and then to Taiwan.
Yeah.
Then we were very surprised about two and a half years ago, almost, when I was talking to Dr. George Wrench, our regional director, and he he asked me if I was, after we had some preliminary on the phone, why he said, "Steve, are you sitting down?"
Mm-hmm.
Boy, when your boss asks if you're sitting down, that's a
Sit down quick.
I was sitting down, and he said that our church has established this new program called CARE. Dr. John Holstead has registered it with the Hong Kong government and both the mainland China's government, and they wanted us to be the liaison between the teachers that would teach English in universities and the head of the CARE department.
Mm-hmm.
So we prayed about it, and I really felt that this was what God was preparing for us to do.
Well, you shared with us in church and all that kind of thing what you're doing there in China and teaching. It sounds really exciting. You like the teaching English part?
I really do. I didn't know for sure how much I would enjoy that, but the students make a lot of the difference, and the students are very highly motivated. They're
Yeah.
not. Most of them are graduates of college, and they're going on into a master's program, or some of them are PhD candidates, and
Yeah.
they're really good students.
You say there's birds over there. You were telling us about the birds singing. Tell us that again.
Yes. One morning, birds come and go, migrate, and it was spring, and my wife said to me, I think he said, "Boy, there's a new bird out here." And so we went over and listened to it, and boy, it just clear as anything, Jim, it was saying to me, "God loves you.
Mm-hmm.
God loves you. God loves you."
Mm-hmm.
And we went and got our bird book and looked it up, and it's the large hawk cuckoo.
Oh,
And
yeah.
cuckoos just keep on saying things incessantly, and it was really neat to hear that bird saying that. That's what it sounded like to me.
Is that right?
Not everybody hears that, but
Huh.
a lot of times you see what you look for and you hear what you're listening for.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt like that was saying. And then later on, another one came into the area. Many of them, not just one, but
Mm-hmm.
and it had a 4-note call, and it just seemed to say, "God is able.
Mm.
God is able. God is able."
Yeah.
And when you're discouraged and you don't know if things are working out well, why, it's great to hear one of God's feathered friends telling you,
Oh, that's great. Sounds beautiful.
"I'm able to take care of this." So God is.
Irene, what are you doing over there? Are you teaching as well?
Oh, yes, I'm teaching English too. I have reading classes and speaking classes, listening classes, and
Oh,
writing
yeah.
classes, and English and science and technology. Same courses Steve teaches.
Yeah. How many classes a day?
Well, I have 3 classes a day, and there's 20 students in each class.
Uh-huh.
And usually each class is a different set of students.
Oh, yeah. Is it pretty much beginner English, or do they have a little bit of working knowledge?
Well, it's a wide range. One class can have from 0 to 10.
Oh, yeah. Hmm. Well, Steve, you remember? I remember way back in the early days when we were teenagers. You were a few years older than me, but we used to spend time in T-Berry, and you and Dave Tropper used to play the guitar and sing down there. It was a beautiful time in our lives.
Sure was.
Remember
Wonderful
that.
foundation with Reverend John Andre, and it was tremendous.
Yeah. T-Berry has a special place in all of our hearts. Like, we got so close to the Lord and to each other in those days.
That's true.
Yeah.
There were many, many wonderful experiences of really knowing God was talking and leading in our lives. Wonderful. It's just a
I remember the
tremendous privilege.
sermons that Reverend Andrew would bring occasionally, and of course Chuck Fuller was always there,
Yeah,
and we would spend a lot of time in prayer around the logs and campfire,
it's true.
singing choruses.
Yeah. those courses still come to mind and sing them over there in China. I use some of the stories, the illustrations that Reverend John Andre used. Sometimes they come to mind, and just they're classical stories of God's answering prayer and leading people and dealing with people. And it's been a great blessing to.
I meant to tell you, my brother was talking to me on the phone the other day, and he said that you had sent him a license plate from China or Taiwan.
That was an interesting experience. I went into a used car, actually we call it a used store. It's junkyard what it was, and there was a motorcycle there that had the license plate on it. So I went to the owner of it and I said, hey, I'd like to get this license plate here. Oh, he got all upset, and he went over, he just bent that thing all up and folded it up, and because you can't take that. See, what happens is people go in there and they ask for a license plate like that, and they go put it on another motorcycle and drive it around.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't believe me that I wanted to send it to a friend in the States. So I realized that wasn't going to work. So I went to the Bureau of Registration and told the officials my story. I said, I got a friend in the States that collects license plates, and he'd like one. I says, give me some time. I'll call you. So about a week later, he called me back, says, yep, I've got one for you. Now pick it up.
Wow.
So I went down there, and he, it's somebody that bought a car and didn't finish buying it or something, or maybe it was a turn-in or something, and it was a nice new license plate.
Well, Larry said it was like in a secret compartment at the bottom of the package. He thought it was maybe smuggled out of the country.
Because I didn't know for sure if the post office, whether they'd believe my story or not, that the officials gave it to me.
I see.
These guys don't always communicate. So I put it in something and made it look like it was something else and sent it, and I'm glad he got it.
Well, he loves it, and he wanted me sure to tell you that he didn't really thank you for it and wanted me to tell you that.
Well, he kind of thanked me ahead of time. He gave me 2 real nice cassettes of this quartet. Let's see.
Wasn't the Haven of Rest?
Haven of Rest.
Yeah, he loves the Haven of Rest, and
I like them. And,
they're a beautiful
so
group.
I've listened to those many times over.
Well, it's been sure nice visiting with you folks, and we'll be praying for you as we do especially every Sunday. Pastor mentions you by name, and we'll be praying for you while you're over there in China.
So much to us over there.
Prayer means an awful lot to us.
Well, great. How long will you be there before you have a furlough or something?
Well, we talked to Dr. Scott at General Assembly this year, and he thinks that maybe each summer we can come home for some weeks like this.
That'd be
that
wonderful.
Would be, that's so meaningful. If you can just get out from under this. There's quite a lot of pressure there with the government. It's very anti-Christian. But God is helping us and leading us, and we feel like it's a real ministry in our church.
Well, we'd love to see you again next summer then.
Great.
Nice visiting with you folks.
Thank you.